Hi, my name is Dr. Victor Pena, and today I have some very alarming yet exciting information to share with you. If you're 10, 20, or even 100 pounds overweight, the information you're about to hear could change your life. But I have to warn you, this video may not be up for long, as the big players in the health food industry may force this video to be taken down very soon. So if you're interested in finally hearing the no-holds-barred truth about weight loss, you'll want to watch this video from beginning to end while it's still here. Okay, let's dive right in. Dropping inches of belly fat quickly starts with something as simple as reducing your intake of the following 5 specific foods we've been tricked into thinking are good for us, when in reality could actually be destroying our bodies from the inside out. The first of which is concentrated orange juice. You probably agree that drinking a can of Coke for breakfast sounds pretty ridiculous, right? But did you know that 1 glass of concentrated orange juice actually contains as much sugar as a can of most popular sodas? Go ahead and check the labels and you'll see what I mean. And what's worse is concentrated orange juice contains an ingredient called high fructose corn syrup, which affects the insulin levels in your body in a way that tricks your brain into thinking you're still hungry, even if you've just finished a 5-course meal. So while you might think you're eating a healthy breakfast made up of an over-easy egg, a piece of fruit, and a small bowl of oatmeal, the second you add that glass of orange juice, you'll likely find yourself low on energy and craving a mid-morning snack shortly afterwards. And concentrated orange juice isn't the only so-called health food containing high fructose corn syrup. In fact, I bet you have one or more of the following in your kitchen right now, each containing this weight loss disaster of an ingredient. Special K breakfast cereal, Mott's applesauce, Del Monte peach halves, and even Yoplait yogurt are just a few of the many foods containing HFCS, yet being touted as healthy food alternatives. Who would have thought these foods may actually be doing you more harm than a Snickers bar? In fact, a recent study performed at Yale University confirmed the harmful effects that high fructose corn syrup can have on your weight. In this study, they took 20 healthy adults. They gave drinks containing high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS, to each person, and used something scientific called functional magnetic resonance imaging to measure how hungry the brain was telling the body it was. After guzzling down the HFCS drink, the brain's hunger-quenching signals not only failed to decrease, but they actually increased, indicating the person felt even hungrier shortly after ingesting the HFCS drink than they did before. This helps explain why the average person crashes and craves something from the company vending machine around 2:30 every afternoon. Okay, I hear you saying to yourself, all right then, I'll just start looking at food labels and stop eating anything containing HFCS, and I'll start losing weight and feeling great. Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. You may have noticed that many of the popular diets you've gone on have worked short-term. You've lost some weight and may have even kept it off for a few months to a year, but then gained it right back, plus some extra for good measure. Unfortunately, the tainted food we eat and the environment we live in has caused a much bigger, more long-term problem within our bodies than the HFCS dilemma I just mentioned. But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There is a proven way out. And contrary to what the mega-rich weight loss companies like to tell us, you can absolutely get to your goal weight while still enjoying plenty of quote-unquote unhealthy foods like cookies, cake, ice cream, and pizza. And anyone telling you otherwise isn't addressing the underlying problem, which I'll explain in just a minute. But first, let me introduce you to a friend I'm extremely proud of. A friend that struggled with her weight for as long as I can remember. Her name is Elena. In the late 90s, Elena was your typical high school kid. Slightly overweight, but no one would have ever labeled her as obese. Sure, she would occasionally hear a fat joke here and there, but kids are kids, and she would brush it off as best as she could. Elena had always been fairly active. She enjoyed sports and the outdoors. She also ate whatever she felt like eating. If she was hungry, she ate. If she wanted a snack, she didn't think twice. And being 17, she could get away with it with little to no visible consequences. After high school, Elena went on to college, where she followed the same habits she formed during her high school years, eating what she wanted when she wanted, and exercising here and there as she had the opportunity. Slowly, though, Elena began snacking more frequently. Some chips here, some ice cream there. Not because she loved food anymore, but rather because she actually felt hungrier between meals. So, naturally, she looked to food to satisfy those cravings. As her food consumption increased, Consequently, her energy levels decreased. Elena's body was gradually and quietly being reprogrammed to require more food to sustain normal energy levels, without her being aware. I'll explain the reason in just a minute. This trend continued for roughly a year, when in 2002, what little exercise Elena was doing completely stopped, and she found herself spending most days in bed, unhappy, unhealthy, and completely depressed. She recalls stepping on a scale her roommate had purchased, and as she saw the needle slide past the 200-pound mark, stopping at 202 pounds, her stomach dropped. She couldn't believe what she saw. Here is a picture of Elena at that time. This was a far cry from her 157-pound high school weight, which was the last digit she remembered. Overweight, unhealthy, and depressed, Elena had now hit rock bottom. She knew things had to change, and change dramatically. Despite her lack of energy and motivation, she pulled together every last bit of effort she had and got back in the gym. She also started eating healthier. In a few weeks, she stepped back on the scale, only to lose 3 pounds, now weighing 199 pounds. The next week went by, and she weighed in at 198, a 1-pound weight loss. Gradually, her weight loss slowed and then completely stopped, as did her motivation. Despite exercising and eating healthy, she was still very overweight, very unhealthy, and very unhappy. Unfortunately, many Americans find themselves in similar situations, trying hard but never seeing the head-turning results touted all over television and inside magazines. Well, let me be the first to tell you that it's actually not your fault. Really, it's not. Really, it's not. Following the information I'm about to share with you, Elena broke through her weight loss plateau and her depression, and she completely transformed her life. She went from ashamed and embarrassed about her body at 202 pounds all the way down to an almost unbelievable 120 pounds. Healthy, happy, and full of life and energy. At age 30, she now weighs less than she even did in high school. As you can see from her picture, you'd never have known she ever struggled with her weight. Now, I know what you're thinking. This looks like something torn out of those supermarket tabloids and can't actually be real. Well, let me assure you that Elena is real, and her results are very real. And you're going to have access to the same information right now. The tip I'm about to share with you is the single most important fat-burning method I share with my clients. Clients who've gotten and continue to get the kind of results we dream about but rarely ever see. But before I talk about this unusual weight loss tip, let me briefly tell you a bit about myself. I have a medical degree from the world-renowned Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. I have accredited lifestyle medicine training from both the Harvard School of Medicine as well as the Yale School of Medicine. I'm a certified nutrition chef, a certified nutrition coach, and I've been fortunate enough to have helped thousands of people all over the world lose weight safely and effectively. I've dedicated my entire life to researching and uncovering the absolute truth about weight loss. I've been in classrooms taught by some of the brightest minds in the world, from Harvard to Yale to the Royal College in Ireland. And I've studied and analyzed more medical white papers and clinical studies than most weight loss gurus can even count, let alone have authorized access to. And I've seen firsthand the dramatic effects that proper fat-burning methods can have. In doing so, I've discovered that everything boils down to this one unusual weight loss tip, which I'm about to share with you. The tip that has to do with two things: this plane and this fat mouse. Yes, I know it sounds strange, but stick with me because it explains the reason Elena had, as well as the overwhelming majority of all overweight men and women on the planet, have such a hard time losing weight and keeping it off. Knowing what I'm about to tell you helps explain why the popular, well-known diets simply don't work long-term, and why the information I'm about to share with you can. All right, let's start with the mouse. In 1994, researchers came upon what they called the obese mouse. This was a mouse that wouldn't stop eating. There isn't much to say about it other than the poor little mouse became a very big mouse very quickly because it never felt full. Scientists thought this might uncover the reason we humans struggle with weight gain as well. They ran numerous tests on the mouse to see what chemical in its body was making it behave in such a destructive way. The chemical they discovered was a natural hormone in its body called leptin. Leptin was almost non-existent in the mouse. They then synthesized the hormone and gave it to the mouse, at which time its brain was able to receive the I'm full signal and it immediately stopped eating. It then regained its energy and lost all of its excess weight. What scientists learned was that leptin, the I'm full hormone, is what tells the brain that you and I are full, that our bodies are satisfied, and that we can stop eating. I'm sure you probably know the feeling. You're just dying to have a big slice of pizza. 3 slices in, and the pizza isn't tasting quite as good as it did after the first bite, right? This is leptin sending signals to your brain, telling your body that you're not as hungry and you can stop eating. The problem is, and I'll explain in just a minute, being satisfied after 3 slices can easily turn into 4 slices, which can turn into 5 slices, 2 breadsticks, and a soda, and then feeling hungry yet again an hour or 2 later. Okay, now let's move on to the plane. Imagine your body is like a plane. On the plane's dashboard, there are gauges that let you know what's happening with the plane, and a series of buttons and switches that must be engaged properly for the plane to fly well and fly safely. These settings all interact with one another. We humans also have gauges that control how we fly, how we look, and how we feel. Depending on what we do, we could be flipping one internal switch down, which might cause another to flip up. Every day, we're essentially playing with these gauges based on what we're eating and doing without really knowing what's happening inside our body. Remember at the beginning of this presentation, I taught you that high fructose corn syrup actually causes your brain to think you're hungry even when you're not? That's one of the thousands of internal switches causing your body to become extremely confused. And after these switches are flipped up and down too many times, your body can become what's called leptin resistant, which completely stops the I'm full hormone, leptin, from signaling your brain, telling you that you're no longer hungry, that you're satisfied, and that you have plenty of energy. The main reason Elena and the majority of overweight people can't lose any significant amount of weight is not because they're not trying. The majority are. It's because their bodies have literally been programmed to not lose weight. Some sure signs that you suffer from leptin resistance are if you have food cravings between meals, and especially after 8 p.m., if you have a roll of fat around your upper abdomen, if you suffer from general sluggishness and lack of motivation, or if you have trouble sticking to diets. The hormones in your body are extremely powerful. No matter how much willpower you have, you can't simply tell your brain that you're not hungry and that you have plenty of energy. If the hunger hormone leptin isn't telling your body that it's satisfied, you will feel hungry and you will feel tired, no matter if you ate just 10 minutes ago. And if no or even low leptin signals are sent to your brain, telling your body that it's full and satisfied, it can be nearly impossible to lose any significant amount of weight, as you can imagine. That's just the reality of how our bodies were designed. The majority of weight loss and diet programs out there never address the root cause of weight gain. They simply place a temporary Band-Aid on the problem, which is fine by them because you've already given them what they wanted, your money. But having any long-term or head-turning weight loss success without fixing the underlying problem of leptin resistance will likely never happen, as you may have noticed. Work with your body by taking steps to reprogram it to want to lose weight, rather than fighting against it, and you will get the results you want. I know it sounds obvious, but you'd be surprised how many good people fall for the weight loss gimmicks, tricks, and flat-out scams sold by the mega-rich weight loss companies. But there is good news. There are realistic, easy steps you can take right now to get your leptin levels back in balance. Having leptin working for you and not against you, allowing you to lose weight around the clock, even while you're sleeping. No kidding. And you'll be pleasantly surprised that you can do this while still enjoying foods like pasta, cookies, pizza, and ice cream. And you can do it all without starving yourself, without counting calories, and without doing hours of boring cardio. All of these steps are laid out in my brand new weight loss course called the Leptin Override. In the Leptin Override, I basically put your hand on the thermostat of your leptin levels, and you'll know how to dial them up and dial them down as you wish. Want to completely stop late-night food cravings? Done. Want to wake up in the morning completely refreshed and motivated to tackle your day? Done. Want almost never-ending levels of energy to spend time with your kids? Done. And do you want to finally get to and stay at your goal weight? Done, done, and done. Inside the Leptin Override, you'll have access to information that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. information you won't find on TV, and information you won't find in bookstores. It's the information you need to reprogram your body to actually want to lose weight. No more Band-Aid solutions, no more wasted effort, and no more failing. But don't just take my word for it. Have a look at some of the others who have gotten incredible results. This is Mary, a 40-year-old mom of two who lost 51 pounds and dropped from a size 18 to a size 8. Mary says, "This information truly saved my life. I was overweight and out of shape. My feet hurt constantly. I ate for emotional comfort. Within the first week, I had more energy and stopped craving sweets. And I feel better now than I even did in high school." Or how about Lacey, who lost 41 pounds and 7 inches off her belly? In only a few short months, I might add. Or Wanda, who dropped 30 pounds and lost 5 inches from just her waist. Or Sherry, who lost so much weight from her belly that she was forced to buy a whole new wardrobe. And the nice thing is, when you get leptin in balance, the areas of fat that are normally targeted first will be the ones you gained most recently, which generally means stubborn areas are eliminated the fastest. Now, you're probably thinking the price for the leptin override is going to be expensive. After all, this is new information, breakthrough research, and a solution that I believe gets results like no other. A program with a proven track record. And you're right, the true value of this system is confirmed to me by my esteemed colleagues in the industry is exactly $297. Case in point, people pay thousands of dollars for a body like this. But I'm not going to charge you $297. I considered charging $197, but I'm not going to charge you $197 either. I'm not even going to charge you $97. Instead, I'm going to let the leptin override go for just $47, the price you could easily pay for a dinner for two, a couple pizzas, or a movie and popcorn. If you've made it this far into the presentation, it's obvious you want to lose your excess weight. It's obvious you know that other programs haven't worked long term. I've explained to you the many reasons those other programs don't work. I've shown you the results that my clients have gotten and continue to get daily. And I've given you the exact solution to finally get you to your goal weight easily and effectively, without starving yourself, without counting calories, and without doing hours of boring cardio. I can't make this decision for you, but it basically comes down to one thing. Are you willing to give up a single dinner for two or a couple of pizzas for a lifetime of health and happiness? When it's said like that, it almost sounds silly. And I think you would probably agree. But just to make sure this is even more of a no-brainer, I'm going to back you up with a quadruple-decker guarantee to ensure that you're just as blown away with the leptin override as every one of my other clients. Here goes. Guarantee number 1. If you're unhappy with the leptin override for any reason, we'll give you your money back. Guarantee number 2. If you don't believe this weight loss program is the most effective you've ever seen, we'll give you your money back. Guarantee number 3. If you haven't lost all the weight you wished you'd lose in the first 60 days, we'll give you all of your money back. Guarantee number 4. If you just need the money back because something came up, we'll give it all back. We don't ask questions. We just give back your money with a smile and honestly, no hard feelings. And then as a parting gift, we let you keep the entire leptin override system for free. And we're happy to do it, so don't even feel bad. I am with you every step of the way. And even though that type of guarantee opens up the door to plenty of dishonest people who will take advantage of me, so be it. I am 100% confident that the leptin override can help you get the weight loss results you want. I've seen it help too many people to believe any different for you. Do yourself a favor and close your eyes for a minute. Imagine yourself 1 month from now, thinner and healthier than you felt in a very long time. Clothes that used to fit snugly now hang loosely on your body. You have no more hunger pangs. You wake up in the morning completely refreshed and ready to tackle each day. Next, imagine yourself 2 months from now, even thinner. You make a trip to the mall to pick up a couple cute new outfits because your old ones no longer fit. Coworkers start asking you what sort of diet you're on, and you tell them why the word diet, as they know it, never works. Then imagine yourself in 3 months. You're now ready to show off your new bikini body. This time, you visit the mall to go dress shopping, and your thoughts have changed from, will this dress make me look fat, to, is this dress too provocative? you find the dress and it fits absolutely perfectly. This can happen. This can be your reality. I've given you everything you need to get the body and the health you want. But in the end, it's up to you and no one else. All that's left to do is click the Add to Cart button below and erase all of the failed weight loss attempts from the past. I truly hope this is the day you take a minute and give yourself what you want, what you deserve. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Click the Add to Cart button below to order the Leptin Override, and I will see you inside the members area.